Well, good day, everyone. This morning in my devotions, I read the book of Ruth. Now, Ruth is a love story, and I thought about the month of February. It's kind of like the love month. We have Valentine's Day, and people give candy to their sweetheart and cards and so on. But in this story, there are two young Moabite girls who married Israelite brothers, and they both died. And the mother, Naomi, is going back to her homeland, and the girls are going to follow her. But then she says, no, you go back to your family. Now, these two girls contrast. There are contrasts between them. And I will simply call one a kisser and one a clinger. Orpah, she was a kisser. She kissed her mother-in-law. She had emotions, but Ruth was a clinger. She not only kissed her, but she clung to her mother-in-law. So we find the emotions of the kisser is just shallow, but the clinger has a depth to it. Secondly, the kisser returned to the old life. Orpah, when tough times came, she went back to her family. But Ruth, even during tough times, she clung to her mother-in-law. So the kisser goes back to the old life in tough times, but the clinger will stay committed during that time. Now, thirdly, the kisser was out to get, but the clinger was out to give. Orpah, she got her a husband, but when her husband was gone, she went back to the old life. But Ruth was committed, even though it was a difficult time. She gave her life and committed her life to her mother-in-law. And finally, the kisser disappeared, but the clinger became great. Now, we don't hear anything else about Orpah, the one that went back, the kisser. But we do hear about Ruth. She became a part of the lineage of Christ. So we see how important it is to be a clinger, not a mere kisser, not just showing some emotions, but to have a commitment to the Word of God, to Christ Himself. Now we look in the New Testament and we find Judas, one of Jesus's disciples. He kissed Jesus with a betrayal kiss. He had a shallow relationship. But we also read of a woman who was anointed the feet of Jesus and clung to Jesus. And Jesus commended her and said that she will be preached about, talked about in years to come. So we see the difference. Judas, a kisser. This woman who anointed Jesus' feet was a clinger. So I ask you today, what are you going to be? Are you going to be a kisser or a clinger? Are you going to have a deep relationship with Christ and His Word and His commandments? Or are you going to just have a shallow when tough times come, you're going to depart? Well, I encourage you to be a clinger. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.